Thank you. It's great to see so many people getting together to protest against the most unethical company in the world. I'd like to read two letters, one from Safe Food Foundation and one from Steve Marsh, who I spoke to this morning. Have you heard of Steve Marsh? Steve is an organic farmer from Kojonup, Western Australia. In 2010, Steve's organic farm was contaminated with GM canola that Steve believes blew onto his property from his neighbour's GM canola crop. As a result of this contamination, Steve lost organic certification on approximately 70% of his farm. In Australia, unlike other countries around the world, there is no protection or compensation for farmers whose properties are contaminated by GMOs through no fault of their own. And we did everything to try and get that legislation in place, but it was denied. That is why Steve has courageously decided to stand up for his right to grow GM-free food and to seek compensation for loss and damage from his neighbour. Steve issued proceedings in the West Australian Supreme Court last year, and the case is expected to go to trial in early 2014. Slater and Gordon, Australia's largest plaintiff law firm, is providing the legal work on a pro bono basis, but there are many other costs associated with such a trial. Steve's case is the first of its kind in Australia and will set a precedent that could impact organic farmers worldwide, and non-GM farmers, I would like to add. Steve is standing up for what he believes in, but he cannot do it alone. The Safe Food Foundation is coordinating fundraising to contribute toward the costs of the trial, along with Friends of the Earth Australia. Steve Marsh is taking on the GM industry like David against Goliath. His fight is a landmark case in Australia and beyond. It is the first time in the world a non-GM farmer has said, no, we will not accept contamination. This is fantastic. This case will set international precedents and will determine his right to farm organically and our rights as consumers to choose GM-free organic foods. He needs our support. Please come to see us and make a donation. We know that Steve Marsh's case is not an isolated one. If you're a farmer and you believe your crops have also been contaminated by GMOs, please contact the Safe Food Foundation. So chase me up, I've got their email address. So that's from the Safe Food Foundation. I now have a speech from Steve Marsh, who has been through, he's a very soft-spoken farmer who many of you have known, very quiet, and this has really taken its toll on him and his family. I would firstly like to apologise for not being able to speak to you myself, but would like to especially thank everyone who has supported us. It has certainly made this fight a little fairer, and I'm extremely grateful for that support. GM canola has contaminated our farm, destroyed our livelihood, and affected our lives in ways I could not imagine. We would have preferred to avoid doing so, but feel we have no other choice but to take this action to recover our losses and protect our farm in the future. Use of GM crops without a regulatory system that take others' land use into account can have significant impacts on how you choose to farm your land and ultimately our ability to produce GM-free food. For consumers concerned about what they eat, the loss of choice affects their rights to buy GM-free food. That right is worth fighting to preserve. Please think very carefully about the future you wish to leave future generations, and always remember, it's your food, it's your choice, and it's your children's future. From Steve Marsh. Thank you.